One of the main initiatives of ASES past president, Dr. Frank Cordasco, was to establish the Neer Circle. Last year, an amendment to our bylaws was approved to formally create the membership category of Neer Circle Fellow. Entry into the Neer Circle represents a distinct honor within our society, and it is based on service to ASES. Please listen to past President Cordasco for further information on the Neer Circle.
Greetings. President Sanchez Sotelo has asked me to provide a brief review of the origins, mission, and goals of the Neer Circle, which was established during my presidential term ending in October of 2019. I am grateful to Joaquin to be given the opportunity to present this video review, particularly for those younger members of the American Shoulder and Elbow Surgeons who may not have the historical context, knowledge, and institutional memory to understand these concepts. I believe it is important to understand the historical background through which I developed the concept of the Neer Circle, a separate organization to be contained within ASCS. Some of this information can be obtained from my presidential address, which was published in JSCS in 2020. Historically, orthopedic subspecialty societies have struggled to manage membership size, as there are advantages and some potential disadvantages to expanding growth. During Dr. Rockwood's presidential term in 1987, the active membership of ASCS, which was in existence for 5 years, determined that there would be no more than 5 associate members admitted each year. I was admitted to ASCS in 1996 under those criteria to a society with 110 members. It became clear over time that the ASCS should expand our membership, as AOSSM and ANA had, in order to include and provide opportunities for all of the talented young surgeons beginning their careers in shoulder and elbow surgery. Past President Bernie Morey attempted to expand the ASCS membership in 2000. However, the active membership voted to reject this effort. As membership chair from 2004 to 2005, I was charged by then-President David Dines to have our committee establish the first objective criteria for scoring membership applicants. The ASCS board approved the admission of those applicants who met the criteria for membership, and as a result, our committee admitted the largest class at the time, 32 applicants in total, which culminated in a total membership of just over 250. Past President Jerry Williams then attempted to expand the ASCS membership again in 2010. However, the active membership once more rejected this effort. It was not until 2015, under Bill Mallon's term as president, that the new candidate membership category was established. During my term as president, the fellowship membership category was approved, which allowed PGY 4 and 5 residents who had been accepted for shoulder and elbow, as well as sports fellowships, to become ASCS members. This was quite different from my experience and those members admitted between 1987 and 2005, in which it would be a minimum of 6 years between graduating from one's fellowship and achieving membership in ASCS. The collective effect of all of these developments occurring between 2005 and 2019 expanded our membership fourfold, from 250 to 1,000. With this expansion of ASCS membership, mid-career and senior members recalled the interactive nature and collegiality of the former so-called closed meetings, which had diminished significantly with the larger audiences at the annual meeting. It was with this historical context that I determined as vice president in 2016 that our society would benefit from developing a cohesive group of mid-career thought leaders who had served our society and were recognized internationally as experts in shoulder and elbow care. Our patients, colleagues, and society would benefit from harnessing the collective intellectual firepower of this group. The challenge was in selecting the model. This was a concept that I developed in discussion with over 100 ASCS members including founding members, past presidents, and individuals across all membership categories. There were several approaches to consider, including a Herodicus-like separate organization, such as with AOSSM, which has a separate presidential line and board, or to develop a separate membership category within ASES that would require a nomination process, an application, and a vote which would necessitate a bylaws change. We chose neither of these models. The concept was controversial at the time, with some senior members of ASES, as well as younger, recently admitted members of ASES, concerned about this concept in the context of the recent changes associated with expanding membership, essentially creating what some perceived as an exclusive membership category seemed to be counterproductive to the overall approach of developing a more inclusive society. In the end, we chose to develop a service recognition group in which any active member meeting the objective criteria of service, which is a living document, reevaluated annually, would automatically become a member of the Neer Circle. The name Neer Circle was chosen as Dr. Neer had a tremendous influence and impact upon my career trajectory, beginning during my residency in orthopedic surgery at Columbia's NYOH, and while serving as his last fellow from 1989 to 1990. Not to mention his influence upon the education and training of the international shoulder and elbow community, his impact upon shoulder and elbow patients all over the world, his development of the ASES, and having served as the inaugural president of ASES, as well as the first chair of the JSCS Board of Trustees. Circles are an ancient symbol representing eternity, unity, and perfection, as they have no beginning or end, as well as the concept of interconnectedness and wholeness. The Neer Circle was formally established during my term as president, and the first annual Neer Circle meeting occurred in New York in October of 2019. It is important to recognize Jed Kuhn and J.T. Tokish, whom I had selected as the first Neer Circle co-chairs. Their success completing the first consensus statement regarding first-time shoulder dislocations and in establishing a compelling first Neer Circle meeting demonstrated their leadership skills, which their peers have subsequently recognized as they have served as presidents of ASES and ANA, respectively. The category of Neer Circle Fellow was then formally codified with an ASES bylaws change during Jed Kuhn's presidential term at the annual meeting in October of 2024. The mission of the ASES Neer Circle is to recognize service and leadership, strategically support our society, and advance the practice of shoulder and elbow surgery through consensus. The goals of the Neer Circle include the following: the development and publication of consensus statements on shoulder and elbow topics when the literature is incomplete or inadequate, to provide service to the ASES Presidential Line and ASES Board when communicating with our peer subspecialty societies, such as AOSSM and ANA, as well as the Academy, and to assist with strategies towards health systems, insurance carriers, state and federal governments, and the organization of the advocacy efforts and interests of the ASES. The Neer Circle meets annually, just prior to the annual ASES meeting. Open floor debate of controversial topics is strongly encouraged, hearkening back to the original closed meetings. I hope this brief review has been beneficial to the members of ASES and will encourage career-long service to our society, as well as experiential learning. Thank you for your attention.
Our bylaws summarize all the service activities that qualify to become Neer Circle Fellow. The number of members in this category keeps expanding because so many members volunteer to serve in multiple capacities. If you have any questions about this topic, please contact our membership committee or myself directly. See you all in San Diego in literally a couple of weeks.